Hello everyone, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector, your Dark Knight of Collecting, and this weekend was an amazing weekend because we didn't just have one, we had two amazing comic book conventions, and it was amazing because we had so many new product reveals, so many statue reveals from two amazing companies, Iron Studios as well as XM Studios. I cannot believe the amount of coverage that we saw. I can't believe the amount of new reveals that we saw, and I'm just very impressed by so much of it. And so I thought I would do one of my hits and misses videos. Which ones did I feel like, just hit it out of the park, and which ones did I feel were kind of meh a little bit. There were definitely some of both. And so I wanted to cover, a little bit about that because I know that some of you are not maybe members of the Facebook groups and don't get to see those constant photos that come through. So I do want you to see those photos. And maybe some videos as well. I want to give a shout out to Enchan's Place, a really great videographer, a really great YouTube channel. He has provided some of the coverage that I'm going to be showing you. So thank you very much. Make sure you visit his channel, Enchan's Place. I will put the link down below. And again, thank you very much for letting me use some of your footage. Now, with that said, I want to go in to the pieces that I felt like were my favorites. That just really meant a lot to me. Now, we're going to be switching back and forth from CCXP, which was in Brazil, and also, of course, Singapore Comic-Con, SGCC. That is where all of the XM Studios pieces were. So I definitely want to start with my favorites. Again, I'm going to kind of switch back and forth and let you know which ones are my favorites. So the very first thing that comes to my mind, and by far my biggest and favorite thing that I saw from this past weekend, was from Iron Studios, and it was really surprising. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this amazing Joker. Now, this Joker is 1/3 scale. This piece might not be for everyone. It is very creepy, a very awesome face. I love the art direction of this piece. Again, I was not expecting it. I do not own currently an Iron Studios piece. I did own the Batman vs. Bane piece. I've never owned the Batman piece that they did, but this one is just, I cannot remember a time where I've been this excited, at least not maybe since the Bermejo Joker. Some people have asked, which one do I like better between the Bermejo Joker and this one right here? And the answer is both. I don't care which one I like better because I'm getting both of them. They are going to be part of my collection in two separate areas, so I'm going to get both. I think that it's going to fit in really nicely next to my Batman Hush up here. At least that's my potential plan. But anyway, I definitely want to get this piece. It is going to be, for me, a day one pre-order because I really think it's really phenomenal. I love the art direction. Like I said, I think the paint apps look good. There are going to be some swap outs, including just the regular Joker face, but I personally like the featured face just because I think it is just taken right out of the comic books, and I really appreciate that. So really, really cool stuff. I absolutely love that piece. I'm blown away. I cannot wait to own that. Cannot wait to review it for you guys. Absolutely love it. Another big hit for me this weekend was also from XM Studios, and that is the Batcave. It is really insane. I just can't even describe it, how cool it is to have this Batcave diorama. I think so many people, I have always been somebody that was really interested in like miniature models. Never talented enough to actually do them or put them together, but I always love them. A lot of you know I'm a Disney fan. I love Imagineering, and I love all the little models that they use to create the bigger rides and lands and things like that. So when I see things like this, I'm instantly drawn to them. This thing is massive. I cannot believe how big it is. Now the cool thing about it is it's totally customizable. You can customize how big you want it to be, how small. You can move the shelves around. You can move the pieces around. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied. I'm so excited. But you can move the Batmobile around. It's completely customizable. Now the only problem with that, of course, is probably going to be the price. I can't even imagine how much this thing is going to be. They have said it's going to be a mixture of polyresin and possibly polystone, ABS plastics, different things like that, probably for weight. So they're going to do right by this. They're going to, of course, this is just a prototype. We haven't seen it painted yet. I think that they said that it might go up for pre-order sometime this summer, 2020. But I just absolutely love it. I think it's very courageous by XM Studios to do this piece. I tip my hat to Brian and Ang and everybody else because it's just really cool what they're doing with this particular piece. Now, with that said, my wife looked at it and she said, it looks like a Barbie dream house. And I thought that was really funny. I saw a couple of other collectors say the same thing. But regardless, this is our Barbie dream house. I'm completely fine with that. That is fine with me because I think it is just, I can imagine it over here in the corner being a really cool display piece, or maybe even in the middle right here of my Batcave. I really don't know, and I have no idea how I would display it 100%, but I love the idea behind it. I think it is really cool. I just absolutely, I'm so excited about that piece. I think it's really cool. Another hit for me on this is also from XM Studios, and that is the Catwoman here. I think she is beautiful. This is not my favorite scale. A lot of people, I think, love this scale because of the size and of the price point. But it's still not my favorite. I like 1/4, I like 1/3 the best, and even life size, as you can see from here and here. But that particular scale is just a little bit smaller than the 1/4. I know a lot of collectors really like it, but I feel like it just loses a little something. I don't know why, but I think that XM sculpted this beautifully. I really like the direction of all these pieces. I like that you can put all of the characters together on a shelf. As you know, with any collector having the space issues that we have, that's always a constant problem for us where we're going to put things. And having that scale, you can definitely get a lot of bang for your buck. And so I really appreciate that very, very much. But I think this Catwoman is absolutely beautiful. So those are my top picks. I want to talk about some of the other ones here as well. I have them all on my laptop, so I'm going to be referring to those. So sorry if I'm looking over here. We talked about the Batcave. We talked about Catwoman. Oh, another hit. I thought I forgot about this hit. This was the Batman by XM Studios as well. This is a really, really cool Batman. I like the Batman Hush that they've shown, but I like this one even better. I think it's really cool. I like the cape flow. I like the direction, the art direction of this piece. I really like the base. And it looks great with Catwoman. So again, this line has me intrigued. Whether or not I'm going to collect it or not, I'm really unsure. I do have the space on my shelves. I'm not sure about the height on all of these. But again, I really like how much detail are put into this particular scale, because it's like, you know, when you used to have that scale, you just weren't getting the quality. But now, you know, you're getting the same quality in this scale as you are in 1/4. And again, it's still a personal preference. I still prefer that little larger scale, but again, I tip my hat to XM what they're doing, because I think this line is looking really impressive. I really like what they're doing with this. So again, Batman is definitely one of my hits. Some other really cool pieces that I thought were really neat from the show. Again, I'm not going to be able to cover all of them because there were so many, but Red Death I thought was really good. I really like the bats on this particular piece. I like how it flows off the base. I think, again, I'm not really familiar with that character as much. I just don't follow that storyline, or haven't got into that storyline very much. I typically like Batman, just, you know, real life Batman, you know, fighting crime in Gotham. I don't really like all of the other superheroes mixed in. That's just me, personally. I know there's a lot of Justice League fans out there, but anyway, Red Death, a really cool statue. I like the art direction here. Again, the scale is really cool. Some people have said, I wish these were 1/4. I've heard that conversation a lot. But again, what are you going to do? That's what they're doing. So that's that. Another really cool one that I thought was the Samurai Nightwing. I know there's a lot of members from my group, including George and Dan, and you guys know who you are, but you are collecting this line. I know a lot of you are collecting this line, and people are going back and trying to find the pieces. So I know you're excited whenever they add another character, just like I wish they would add more of my Arkham pieces. Prime One, if you're listening. But anyway, I really think that the Nightwing is a cool piece. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't call it a miss, but it's just I don't get excited about Nightwing. Now, if it was another villain, I probably would. I think their Harley looks great, as you saw from the last conventions. I know a lot of you have it on pre-order. But man, oh man, I know you're excited about Nightwing. I think he's great. I don't get a wow factor from it, but I do think that it looks good. I really like the base on it as well. Some people from the groups have said that they wish that he had more blue. So maybe XM will listen to that and provide a little bit more blue coloring to him, because they're always listening to fans. That's what I love about these statue companies, is they're willing to tweak as they go. So again, I tip my hat once again to them, because I love when companies listen to fans and tweak to make the fans happy. I love that. So anyway, Samurai Nightwing, really cool. And speaking of cool, Justice League Dio. I mean, oh my good God Almighty, this is a massive piece. Not only is it, there's a color version, but there's also, I think, maybe a bronze version. I'm not exactly sure what it's made of, but it is phenomenal. It is the Justice League fighting Darkseid, and how cool is that? Now this is going to be another massive display piece. I have no idea how much it's going to cost. I would imagine maybe around the Sanity price. Speaking of Sanity, I am really reconsidering that piece now that I have this different space. So if I can find one, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on Sanity. So if you're out there watching and want to sell it, think of the Batman statue collector, okay? But anyway, this diorama is just incredible. I love what they're doing with it. I know there's a lot of Justice League fans. They're fighting Darkseid, and they are going to you know, battle it out. So I cannot wait for some of you out there to start getting that piece in hand. I'm sure it's up for pre-order already, or potentially pre-order. If you are curious about it and want a trusted seller, check out Todd at Spec Fiction. I will put the link down below as well. Make sure you order from them, because great customer service. They'll get you hooked up with that pre-order, okay? So again, really cool piece. I think it's definitely a hit of the convention. Maybe not a hit for me, but definitely a hit of the show for sure. Let's move over to Thanos. We're going to do a little bit of Marvel here. Thanos and Death. Oh my good Lord, this is impressive. I am a Marvel fan. A lot of you guys know that. I can't collect Marvel because I just don't have the space. But this would be one that I would get. I love Thanos. I love Death. I think they're two beautifully sculpted statues. Really impressed with them. I think it's the best Thanos that's ever been done. That's just my opinion. I think it's really good. I like the size of it. I like the colors. I like the action pose of it. And Death, oh my God, her face sculpt is beautiful. The way her cape looks, or her cloak, beautifully sculpted. And I love the skeleton face. A lot of people have said maybe, you know, they're going to do the regular portrait with the skeleton hand coming out. Oh, I love the idea of that. I think it's really well done, really well executed. Definitely a hit of the convention for me. I think it is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, not one that I'm going to buy, but I really love that piece. Next up, we have Thor. I mean, what a cool piece this is. We actually saw a couple of different Thors. We saw the 1/3 scale Thor. I think that is very well done. Those pieces are not my favorites. They're kind of a museum pose look. They're cool, but they're just, for me, not amazing. I think that each one is getting a little bit better. I do feel like Thor is better than Captain America was, and they also showed Magneto, and I think Magneto's the best one of the bunch. Some cool swap outs with that particular Thor, really neat, I think. But again, it's just not my personal favorite, but if you are a fan of the character, I know you're probably going to want to pick that up if you're into 1/3 scale statues. Now the other Thor is a really cool one. Of course, this one is much more dynamic. Literally, and like he's going to be pounding somebody in the head. And the cool thing about that particular piece is, or at least maybe, I don't know, it reminds me of the Bane one from Prime 1, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Some people don't like it because the head's looking down, like he's going to be, you know, hitting Batman or hitting whoever Thor is hitting in this thing. Some people are not going to like that as much, but I do think it's a cool piece. I think it's an okay head sculpt. It's not my favorite, but I do feel like they did a nice job with it. I like the art direction of it. It's just a cool piece. I really like it. So anyway, we also have Iron Spider. I think Iron Spider looks really good. I really like the paint applications on it. I like the action of it. I just think it's really well executed. And alongside of Iron Spider, we also had Deadpool. And Deadpool, for me, it's not my favorite. I know some people are going to like it. I'm not a massive fan of the character. I have seen the movies, but it's just not something for me. I think it's just a little bit too whimsical. But I know if you're a Deadpool fan, you're probably going to love it. So anyway, I'm excited for you that it's coming out. So that's a cool piece. Pardon me. We also saw X-23. I think she looks really great. I love the art direction of her. Is she better than the Sideshow piece? I probably like the Sideshow piece a little bit more because I just think that one kicks some major ass. But at the same time, this one is also really beautiful. I think XM Studios did a nice job with the paint application. I think the head sculpts look really good. And again, if you're a fan of the character, you can't go wrong with that piece. I think it's really cool. Then we also had Mira, really neat. Now I've seen the Aquaman in person where he's riding the seahorse, and I think that looks good. I think she looks even better. I think she looks, in my opinion, way better. I love the head sculpt on her. I think the art direction's, again, really nice. Again, nice size for those people that are going to collect that scale. I just think it's a really beautiful statue, so I wanted to share it with you guys too. Doomsday also looked good. I think he looks phenomenal. I think he looks a lot like everybody else's Doomsday, just my opinion. I think Doomsday is a really cool character, and I can imagine him kind of being a centerpiece with the heroes around him, maybe the other Justice League members, but it's a really cool piece, and I think it's one of the best Doomsdays that any company has done, especially for being that scale and having that much detail. Again, I tip my hat. Really nice piece. Really cool. Some other pieces then from Iron Studios that caught my eye. There was the Batman and Robin. Now these are, again, not my favorite scale, 1/10 scale. Some of these are really quite small, but again, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. I've seen some of these 1/10 scale pieces whenever I visited New York at Midtown Comics. Finally got the chance to see some of those in person, and I really think that they're really cool. Lots of details for something that small. But again, to me, that's almost like the same size as an action figure. So I don't know, to justify the price point, but usually the price points are fairly decent. $100, $120, $150. I don't know how much the Batman and Robin one will be, but I do think it is a cool looking piece. Speaking of that scale, we also have Poison Ivy, and we also have Mr. Freeze. Between the two, I actually prefer the Mr. Freeze. It's kind of a little bit weird pose to me, but it's still a cool piece. I love the paint, I love the art direction of it as well. Poison Ivy I really like as well, but I think that the face sculpt is a miss. I really do. I think it could be improved. I think it could be made prettier, sexier, or whatever. She is Poison Ivy. She's a seductress. So you're going to want to have a nice, beautiful face sculpt on her. I think a lot of other companies has done a really good job of nailing her portrait. But for this one, for Iron Studios, I feel like it's a miss. But the sculpt and the art direction of her is beautiful. I love it. I love the colors. But hopefully they'll tweak the face sculpt to make it a little prettier. I think it'll sell a lot more units if they do that. So anyway, she's really pretty. The XMen Diorama, oh my good God, and this thing is so cool. How you can mix and match the pieces. There's so many characters, there's so much action going on. I cannot believe, if you are an X-Men fan, like I automatically think of Atem. I think of Atem and his X-Men, his love for X-Men, and I don't know if he's planning on getting this, so Atem, if you're watching it, I hope you're able to get this piece, and I hope you like it, because it's just such a neat, it's just such an epic piece, and they've added to it, and it's just, there's all these components to it with all these characters and villains. It's just, it blows my mind how good it is. It's just really well executed, so I love everything about it. Again, I wish I was more of a fan, because that would be a piece that I would love to have. I love that diorama look, just like I was talking about the Batcave a little bit ago, so it's really cool. They also unveiled a really cool Spider-Man piece, and it might not be my favorite Spider-Man I've ever seen. I've seen some cooler Spider-Mans, but this one has this lighting effect, and it's really cool. Now, it's kind of like this pardon me, 80s grid system, and it can do different colors, and it could also do like solid colors like red or green. So it's a really cool LED effect inside of it. Again, it's not my favorite base, it's not my favorite necessarily Spider-Man pose, but I do like the art direction of the light. I think it's really well done, really cool. Last but not least, we have the Darkseid versus Wonder Woman. Again, I did not know anything about this going into this convention, but I think it's a really cool piece. Again, I love the dioramas, having owned the Batman versus Bane, and the only reason I sold that piece is because I just didn't have the room in the old cave, and I wouldn't have had room in this cave either for it, but it's still a really cool piece. I love those battle poses, those battle dioramas, And this particular one, man, I think it's going to be really cool, especially if you're a Wonder Woman fan. Wonder Woman trying to kick Darkseid's ass, I mean, that is really cool. And if you're counting, yep, that's right, that's 2 asses in this video, so I don't usually say that too much in the video. So anyway, there's that for those of you that think that might be a little funny. I think it's funny. But anyway, I think it's a cool statue. I think it's a cool diorama. Let me just say this. Both companies, Iron Studios and XM Studios, is on a roll here lately. I think that they're both cool. They both cater to a whole bunch of different collectors. They offer a whole bunch of different scales, a whole bunch of different price points. I think if you're going to be a successful company, a successful statue creating company, you're going to have to cater to so many different fans, and I think that they're doing a great job. Especially, I'm gonna give, again, credit to XM Studios. I am just blown away with how much they are producing, the quality that they are producing, and the amount of good, amazing, fun statues that they are putting out. It just blows my mind. It really does. And I love the MTOs. I like how they do made to orders. I still don't have my first XM Studios piece. I need to change that. A lot of my friends, like I said, are doing the Samurai line. I just don't have room for the Samurai line in this particular space. But I'm waiting for that piece. And what will the first piece be? It'd probably be Sanity or that Batcave. I think that one of those two are going to end up in this cave. So whenever you make your comments down below, I want you to predict which one. What do you think my first XM piece will be? Because I'm tired of talking about XM. I want to own a piece finally and have it in my collection to represent a really great statue company, a really great artists that are included in that company. And I'm just excited to finally be able to do that. So anyway, from top to bottom, a really fun weekend. I had just such a blast looking at everybody's photos, and thank you everybody that was either at the convention, like Cisco. I mean, amazing footage as always. To Alex at XM that was providing amazing coverage as well. All the photographers that took amazing photographs for people like me that couldn't go to the convention. I'm stuck in Kansas, so everybody that got to go to Singapore or Brazil, I want to give a shout out to Bruna as well. Bruna got to go multiple days to CCXP, and I'm so happy for her. She even got an Alex Ross print. I'm so happy for her. So anyway, again, hi Bruna, thank you for providing the footage for us for that event tour. This is such a great time to be a collector. There's so much greatness out there, and I know people are going to bitch and complain about prices, and yes, prices are way too high. They're way overpriced, but it is what it is because people keep buying, so people are going to keep raising the prices, and that's just the bottom line. So here's the main thing. We quit complaining about it. Buy what you love. If you can't afford it, I'm sorry, buy something you can. That's the way I see it, and there's so many great companies, like I said, providing lots of different scales. So if you can't afford a 1/3 scale, then go for 1/10, go for 1/6, go for 1/4, whatever you can personally handle, go for that, and be happy with that. Be proud of what you collect. And just, again, I'm just so happy for this weekend. I think this is what it's all about. The excitement that the community gets when all these new pieces come out. I know for a fact, between that Batcave and the 1/3 scale Joker from Iron Studio, I'm through the moon excited, especially about that Joker piece. I don't know if I can swing the Batcave yet. It'll really depend on price point, but I'm gonna get that Joker. That Joker will be right up here on that shelf. I can already envision it. I got goosebumps when I saw it. I know some people were like, "Oh, I hate it. It's too scary." Me, I'm in love with it. I absolutely love it. And that was my #1 hit of the convention. That's why I started out #1 today, because it just absolutely blew my mind. I really love it, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I do want to thank you guys so very much. If you've gone for 20+ minutes listening to me rant and rave about this amazing convention, thank you for sticking through the whole video. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please subscribe and also hit that notification bell. Hopefully it'll notify you every time I put new content out. And also please give the video a thumbs up. That does help people just like you find this content. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so happy to be a collector with you guys. I'm so happy to represent or be part of a representation of the statue collecting community. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being part of the community. I love you guys. You guys are all amazing, and I cannot wait till the next convention. I can't wait to see more from all these great statue collecting companies. I love it. I just love everything about this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the hits and miss videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the Batcave.